Hey everybody, Arcanisis MC here, and we are back for episode 6. This is the episode where we're finally going to put together our baby reactor. Last episode we did some basic automation, and I wanted to review some of that a little bit because I realized I didn't go far enough with the automation. Let's see. This is the area that I cleared out. This is where the little reactor is going to go. But let's take a look at what we have here. So I have added this chest to the top, which is where you put your raw ores. This will now automatically feed into the sag mill. When the sag mill is finished, it will feed into the alloy smelter. When the alloy smelter has processed these down into the bars, it spits it out into here. So basically what's going on is for each ore that you put in, you're going to get 2 dusts. These dusts will go straight to the alloy smelter, and like I said, back into here. The second thing that I did is, let's see, I don't know how that's going to work. It's pulverized. I want to get this stuff, and I think it'll go first. And okay, so right, see, okay, so that is what's going on. It's feeding that stuff in. Alright, so I'm going to put that there, put the gold back up here. So it's a first in, first out kind of thing. A lot of these little dusts that you see up here, the little ones, the pulverized gold, the tin, ferrous ore, those are byproducts of stuff that I have processed. It's as simple as that. Actually, we're doing copper, so let's continue. Oh, you know what? I just realized copper will not feed into there. I'll have to put that in there manually. It will only do the ores because the sag mill will not process powders. So there's a little bit of a most of this is handled with the ME system anyway. I just wanted to show you that you can't put ore in here and expect it to come out as bars there. The second thing is we have added a tank to feed this lava. This is a thirsty machine. I was constantly having to run back and forth. So what this is, it's a transfer node and a simple tank. The transfer node is easy to make. Let's see. Okay, so it is the liquid transfer node. You'll have to make one of these transfer pipes. That's easy enough to do. You get 8 of them. You know, that's simple. A block of redstone and 2 lapis. It's easy. It's worth it. It pulls it from there. The tank is also really easy. It's just 8 pieces of glass. Super simple. I was thinking the tank would feed directly in there. I set the tank on top. It didn't. So yeah, there you go. Now I do have it turned off because I wanted to demonstrate what it looked like when you hook it up, because I couldn't keep this full. This was emptying faster than I could run out there, or right out there to the lava field. By the time I got back, it was empty. So it is a very, very thirsty beast. And that's what we're going to correct for today. We're not going to use it anymore. So you can see buffer is shooting down. This is slowly climbing up. This is cooking the yellorium and giving us... Alright, so that's that. As this processes, we're going to be making the reactor. That's the basis for this episode, so let's get to it. See, I want to get rid of a lot of this stuff. I don't need it. I don't need that. I don't need a spider's eye. Why do I want this? I never know what I'm using the amber for, but I just can't bring myself to throw it away. Alright, so let's go ahead and put our, there we go, move some of this stuff out of the way. Actually, I'm going to keep the sword out. I found out the little baby zombies were getting in here. Alright, so for this we are going to need a lot of iron, which is back here. We'll start with a stack. We're going to need some yellorium. We're going to need lots of the graphite. I think, I don't know, 40, 45 graphite. We'll start with a stack. We'll need redstone. We'll need 1 diamond. I'll need a chest. And we're going to need a piston. And what did I do? Oh, you know what? Okay. I will have to get cobble because I think that's what I need for the piston. Let's go ahead and make the piston. I just want to have everything in there so we can just quickly piston. Yep, cobble. So, okay. Let's make up some cobble real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I about to screw up? It's touching. No, good. Okay. There's the cobble. Alright, so piston. Piston. Did I not grab that chest? I thought I grabbed that chest. Chest. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna need a total of 38 casing, reactor casing. So I'm gonna make 40, so that's basically 10 stacks. The reactor casing is used to make all the other pieces. The initial thing is going to be, what, 9, 13, 14, so 22 is all the casing we need to build the reactor, but it's used in building some of the other parts. So build 10 stacks. You'll get 40 out of it, and you'll have a couple left over, and it's a good thing to do. So reactor casing. This is the first one we're going to do. Did I get the graphite? Yes, I did. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we only need 40. So go there. There's the 40. Alright, let's pull this stuff out. The next thing we're going to need is the reactor controller. This is a multi-part blocks, or a multi-part device, multi-block device, whatever it is. You'll know it's finished when it turns into what it's supposed to be. Anyway, so here's the controller. We have that. We will need the power tap. We have the power tap. We will need the access port. Oh, what just happened? What did I... You know what? I'm not pulling all this stuff out. Okay, access port. Okay, so there's the reactor casing, access. So these are the main pieces. We need the control rod. And last but not least, we need the core. Let's pull all this stuff out. If anybody knows of a shortcut to clear that out, let me know, because I feel like there is one. I just don't know what it is. Alright, so now this means that we have enough parts to build us the reactor. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to hop over here. So the basic footprint, and this is going to be a passively cooled reactor with no coolant. All the coolant will take place through the reactor casing. This is the smallest reactor that you can build. So we're going to lay a foundation of the reactor casing. We want to put a little thought into it. The thing that we're going to be accessing most will be the access port. So we're going to put that here. Now it has to go in the middle. You can't put it on the corners. It has to go in the middle. The thing that we're going to be accessing the least, I believe, will be the control panel. We want to put the power port here. The conduit will run right along and connect into right there. And then we fill in the corners. So corner, corner, this, we could put another access port over here if we wanted to pull it separately, pull the spent fuel out separately. You can process, it spits out cyanite, and you can process cyanite into plutonium, which you can also use for fuel. It takes 2 cyanite to make 1 plutonium. So there's sort of a law of diminishing returns there, but if you do set it up to recycle, you can extend your fuel. I would advise against that right now because the byproduct of this reactor is called cyanite. That's used to build the actively cooled reactors, the big turbines, where that's when you start generating tons of power. So at any rate, that's a different story. Let's get back to this. So I put the yellorium fuel rod in the middle, and then we're going to cover all the top except the middle piece. For this piece, we are putting the reactor control rod. Okay. Okay, now everybody see how that turned into something different here? Let's do that again. Let's pull that out because that is how you know your reactor is going to work. Get that out. Alright. See this? Put the control rod in and it becomes a reactor. It's an empty reactor, but it's a reactor nonetheless. What we're going to do is see how fast that is pulling out of there. I want to put a step. What is the side that doesn't have it? Okay, so I'm going to put a step over here. We're going to be accessing the top semi-frequently in the beginning. What this does is this is the control rod, and you can push the control rod down. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. Just put some stuff over here. Okay, so doing this increases or decreases the power output of the reactor. For what we have, I'm thinking 90% is, well, we'll start it wide open and then adjust it as we need to. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to disconnect the generator. This is no longer going to be needed. Did I break my other? I guess I did. It was about time. Alright, disconnect this. And I'm going to need a few more. Where did I put them? I hope I have enough. I should. Hey, skeleton. Alright. So, oh, it's going to get tight in here. Let's hook this up. 1, 2, 3. It's hooked up. That simple. Get over here. And we are going to put the yellorium in. Yellorium goes in here. Cyanite comes out there. Now let's... That's on this side. Did I cover it up? You know what? I should have put that on the other side. I think I'm actually going to do that real quick. Not a reactor. And, whoops. And a reactor. Okay. So we still have fuel in there. There's 40 in there. Alright, so we're going to crank this thing up. So you hit this button, activate reactor, deactivate it. That's your on-off switch. Have it auto-eject the waste, or don't auto-eject the waste. I do this, I auto-eject it. In a perfect world, it's hooked up to an ME system. And you'll have the import, you'll have two fuel access ports, one pushing stuff in, one taking stuff out. You'll feed it Yellorium automatically, take cyanide out automatically, throw that cyanide over to be processed into plutonium, and just go from there. You can automate the process. A couple of warnings with doing that is if you do, you're going to forget about it, and suddenly you're going to be offline, and all of your fuel is going to be in your ME system that no longer has power. That sucks. Ask me how I know, because it sucks. Keep your Yellorium in a chest. Keep a emergency supply, a couple of stacks, depending on the size of your reactor, in a chest nearby. So let's go ahead and fire this up, and you'll see there it goes. It is cranking up. Our RF is climbing. And at some point it should start filling the buffer. Now, we're using 0.2 millibuckets per tick. I believe every 5 ticks or something. I don't know exactly how that works, but once this hits 1, it's going to spit out a cyanide. So if we take a look, it's probably going to be spitting out a cyanide pretty quickly. The thing is, this device uses 20 RF per tick. Okay? This device uses 20 RF per tick. We are pushing out 250. Alright, so we're pushing out 10 times more per tick than we need to. So let's dial that back. This should be somewhere between like 45, 50 per tick. So that's what we're going to... hang on, let's put that there. So this is where we go up here to the control rod. Alright, so it's wide open. Let's close the control rod to, well, let's do 90% and see where that takes us. It's almost all the way. Alright, now this is dialing down. See, look, it's not quite enough. Alright, so we need at least 40. The buffer is draining, so 90 is too much. Let's jump up here. Let's go 80. Is that going to be enough? 80 is probably going to be enough, right? We could fine tune that. You can hit Shift Alt, and it'll do it single increments, maybe 85. Let's see what that puts us at. 37. So see, it's still a little light. This is draining. Shift Alt 83. It's kind of a back and forth thing. Let's take a look. Okay, 41.6. Buffer is climbing slowly, which is fine. These buffers are full. It is still processing. This buffer's full. It's still processing. So I think that is where we want to keep it. Slowly climbing, yeah. 83%. And it'll eventually fill up. If you add another machine, try to pay attention to how much RF it has. Go adjust it accordingly. The reason we do this is to conserve Yellorium. At this point in the game, Yellorium is not exactly rare, but it will, again, it sucks when you run out. Okay? I mean, that's just it. We no longer need this setup. It may be useful if we need power temporarily somewhere. but this now becomes something that goes into storage. So let's throw it up here. We have the lava generator, the tank, and this. One thing, and I mentioned this on Twitch earlier, one thing about the lava generator that was a little bit frustrating for me is I was looking for information on this. And anytime I pulled up lava generator, it pulled up something about how to build a machine that will generate lava. That's not what I was looking for. It's just an aside, but if you just look up generators and you should be able to find something detailing that. So anyway, this seems like it's a bit of a shorter episode, but that is the reactor. It is the smallest one that you can make. It's a good starting point. It's easy to get to. Truth be told, I didn't really need to make the lava generator power system because I had the stuff for this, but a step in progression, I think that's the way to go. If you don't have this stuff, if you're having difficulty doing it, you still, I feel like, need the sag mill and need the alloy smelter as some of the first pieces that you build. If you don't quite have the stuff for the reactor, go ahead and build one of those generators to process the stuff. It just needs to happen. It's the only way to really get efficient with it. Let's see, what are we producing? 10. Okay. Right, so that's it. Again, this is a small one. It's small enough that you can actually build one to another one to carry around with you, and we will be doing that a little bit when I start going after meteorites and stuff. We're going to take out the skeleton because he is... Drop anything? No. Okay. Hey, there's some XP bubble. Where'd it go? There it is. Alright, so and that's it for this episode. So if you like this, if this was helpful, hit like down at the bottom. You can follow me on Twitter at ArchaniasisMC. I am also on Twitch at the same username, ArchaniasisMC. And I've been toying with putting together something with Discord, so maybe in the next couple episodes we will see that, and you can contact me there as well. Please leave some suggestions. If there's something specific you want to see, let me know. If I rushed by something that wasn't clear, let me know. I will add a supplemental video to it explaining that. Until next time, everybody take care and play safe.